How wine is made and packed. Hi, welcome to our channel. Today we will tell you how wine is made and packed. Wine is a drink produced through the partial or total fermentations of grapes. Another type of wines also uses another fruits and plants, such as apples, berries, elderberries, cherries, dandelions, palm, and even rice. Winemaking has been around for thousands of years.
So when you take the bottle.
The wine production is a natural process that requires very little human intervention. Mother Nature provides everything that is needed to make wine. It is up to humans to embellish, improve, or totally obliterate what nature has provided. To which anyone with extensive wine tasting experience can attest. So here in this video, we will discuss the complete process of making wine. But before we move on, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos. All the ingredients for making wine are naturally available in grapes. Winemaking has been in existence for hundreds and hundreds of years now. It is a natural process that entails minimal human intervention. Nowadays, it is up to winemakers if they want to follow the traditional method or not. Winemaking is basically an art, but now the process also includes science and technology. There are some basic steps, and every step during the winemaking process plays a vital role, as a small mistake can also impact the final product. The winemaking process has 5 stages which are mandatory to complete the process. Here they are: harvesting, crushing and pressing, fermentations, clarifications, aging and bottling. Some winemakers use endless deviations and variations along these 5 stages to enhance the taste, aroma, and textures of the wine. These variations in the winemaking process result in unique wines with great taste and textures. Somehow, the process of making red and white wine is almost the same, but there is just one exception. Further, the making of rose wine includes comparatively more human interventions than the other two. Let us explain the winemaking process in detail. 1. Harvesting. The first and primary steps in the winemaking process is harvesting. Grapes are the only fruit that can produce a good quantity of sugar to yield sufficient alcohol. Especially, the grapes also have the right amount of acids and tannins to make a stable wine. The ripeness of grapes is determined by the combinations of science and old tasting techniques. The winemakers, harvesters, consultants, vineyard managers, and all the proprietors have a say in deciding if the grapes are ready to be harvested or not. Most of winemakers prefer using the hand harvesting techniques over the mechanical process because they believe that using the machine can be too hard on the fruit. After the fruit reaches the winery, winemakers start by sorting the grapes clusters by culling out the underripe and rotten fruits. 2. Crushing and pressing. The second next step in the winemaking process is crushing and pressing. Traditionally, the workers dance in barrels and press to squeeze and crush the fruit. After that, the grapes are trodden and stomped into a thick liquid, popularly known as a mousse. In this time, technology plays an important role. Winemakers usually use mechanical or automatic crushers for this process. The use of mechanical crushers has improved the quality and longevity of the wine. As a result, the winemakers has reduced the use of preservatives in wine. These 2 steps are the same for making red and white wine. However, if the winemakers prepare white wine, they separate the juice from the skin and the seeds, because it is the skin contact that brings the color and tannins into the wine. So the separations of the liquid from the skin is a mandatory step, or the winemakers will not have a magnificent white wine. 3. Fermentation. The next step is to ferment the must. When the must or juice is left on its own, it begins to ferment within the next 6 to 12 hours. Natural fermentations is a result of the presence of wild yeast in the air. However, winemakers tend to intervene at this moment. They kill the natural yeast to introduce a new strain of yeast, which also helps them to predict the final result. Most reputed, well-established wineries make it a point to use a particular yeast to ferment a unique tasting wine. In any case, when the fermentation starts, it only stops when all the sugars converts into alcohol and a bottle of dry wine is made. Fermentations can be a long process, and it may take anywhere between 10 days to a month, up to several years. The alcohol levels in wine depends on the region of the fruit. Cold climate areas usually have an alcohol level of 10%, whereas warmer regions considers 15% normal. Most sweet wines are produced when fermentation stops before all the sugars is turned into alcohol. 4. Clarification. When the fermentation process is complete, the next step in the process is clarification. Winemakers may choose to rack or siphon their wines from one tank to another, presuming that the residues will be left behind. Winemakers also prefer to complete the filtrations and fine at this stage. Additional substances are also added in wine just to clarify the large particles. For example, most winemakers add clay to the wine so the particles stick to it and settle at the bottom of the storage tank. Some of the winemakers use filters to strain the large particles. After clarifications, the wine is prepared for aging and bottling. 5. Aging and bottling. Aging and bottling is the final stage in the winemaking process. At this stage, the winemakers can either bottle the wine immediately or age it to let the wine gain its natural flavors. Last step is the bottling line. Pretty self-explanatory. The machine fills the bottle, seals them with a cork or screw cap, seals them with a foil, and adds a label. Labeling wine has become very important in recent years. Eye-catching labels sells wine, regardless of it is a good wine or not. The cover of a book may be beautifully designed, but not a good book. The same goes for wine. The label on the bottle of wine may be gorgeous, but the wine may be poorly produced. Drinking. Okay, so this is not technically part of the winemaking process step by step, but as a sommelier, I feel like this is the most important. Cheers, friends! We hope you enjoyed our today's video. If you did like this video, smash that like button and subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with the latest and interesting videos.